Game week 7 predictions.
We'll shoot through them quickly and a nod to the FPL assets in each game. So
yes, no doubt about it.
Let's start with the first one. United Everton.
Man United Everton.
Will they bounce back, Jack?
I think that they will bounce back. I think it's a narrow United win here. I think they're going to be scolded by the mighty Villa, defeating them at home. Interesting, they've got another Old Trafford game. Yeah, I think Ronaldo will score. I think Everton are looking a bit better, but I think if Calvert-Lewin's still out, I don't think Everton will score. And I think United will edge this one. That's my prediction.
What do you do with your assets then? So are you benching Everton assets or are you throwing them in the mix?
No, yeah, good question. No, don't bench any assets from this because Everton could still do something. United still aren't great defensively. Ronaldo may be a captain option, I would say, for this one, but don't bench any assets in this game. That's my thoughts. What do you think?
Completely agree. I can literally add nothing more. So
brilliant.
In tune. We're in tune.
Mirrored. Good. Second one, Josh, Burnley versus Norwich. Bottom of the table clash. What do you think?
It's insert team here versus Norwich is the insert team here win. So it would say a Burnley win. Yeah. Despite Burnley not being amazing themselves at the moment, Norwich are a bit of a dreadful team, aren't they? So I would go for a Burnley home win.
Do you very good. Do you start your Brownhills?
For me, I think there's better assets still. He doesn't really have that threat, does he? So I think unless you've got your Woods or your Burnley defenders who could get the clean sheet out of this, because Norwich haven't been a great going forward. Yeah, I wouldn't start anyone like your Brownhills.
Yeah, fully agree. Burnley home win. I think Norwich might get, if this was a reverse fixture, if this was a Norwich at home, I think I'd go for a draw, but I think you're right. Burnley home win.
So third biggie for FPL owners, Chelsea at home to Southampton. What were you thinking, Jack?
I think it'd be a 2-0 win to Chelsea around that mark. Southampton aren't bad defensively, even though Wolves beat them. They've shown they drew with City 0-0. Chelsea, I think, need a win here after that loss against City, and they haven't been firing. Last couple of games, they haven't been firing on all cylinders. But I think they'll have too much for Southampton, and I think it's a captainable one for your Chelsea attackers here. Lukaku really is who everyone has, isn't it? So yeah, I'm tempted by the Lukaku captaincy, and I'd bench my Livramentos as well if you had them. So Livramentos on my bench, despite being quite a good player. What do you think?
Agree entirely. Captainable for Chelsea. Wouldn't want any Southampton defensive assets. I wouldn't want any Southampton assets in general here, actually. If you've got them, bench them unless you're really struggling elsewhere. But Chelsea have got to be looking to bounce back, and you would say maybe Tuchel might take off the shackles a little bit from, wanting to balance the defense with the attack and just try and trample them here.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Very good.
Another 3:00.
Yes, Leeds versus Watford. What are you thinking?
This is tricky. I think it's quite tricky when Leeds are still finding form. They have no defenders. They've got literally Cooper, and then they're rolling out all their other defenders.
Yeah,
that all from coming through the youth team. So I think it's going to be another goal fest, which is not anything new for watching Leeds game. And because it's going to be a goal fest, it's a toss up as to what could happen. But I think look at your attacking assets for both teams.
Josh, I need a prediction.
A prediction? Oh, I will go. I think Leeds are going to edge it.
Do you? Okay. Well, this is the one where the first one we've disagreed on. I think Watford are going to edge it. I think Watford have got the wind in their sails. I think they drew, didn't they, last week? But I think as did Leeds. Have I got that right? Did they both draw?
Leeds lost
Newcastle and Leeds lost. That's right, 2-1. So yeah, I think Watford are going to win this. I do think Leeds are depleted. I think there's a bit of second season syndrome there. Is Brentford back? We're not sure, are we yet? But do we know if he's back?
Don't think we know.
We don't have a clue. I think Watford are going to do it against Leeds and start both your assets from both. I think both teams could score for sure. Rafinha could easily get a goal. But I like Sarr for this fixture for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be goals.
Yeah.
Next, great. That's these Watford. I was waiting to see if there's anything else to say, but
done. Move on.
Wolves, Newcastle, Wolves at home. What are you thinking about Traore here, Jack? Would he?
That's the big question
for me.
For me personally, Traore, would he start? Don't know. If he does start, I'm confident, and I'd be happy because I think Wolves will win this. I think that win for them against Saints is a bit of a corner turner for them. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jimenez on the score sheet again. Newcastle, I don't think Newcastle are as bad as people. They're not as bad as the club is. You know, the club's in a constant state of turmoil. Everyone hates Steve Bruce. Horrible stories of training ground bust-ups. But when it comes to match day, they pull it out the bag. They kind of they set the problems aside and they give teams games. That all being said, at Wolves, I think will have too much for them. Again, don't bench your assets, but I'd go a 2-0 Wolves win if I had to. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think a Wolves win as well, but I think it's going to be maybe a little bit closer than it seems. Despite the Watford drawing with Newcastle, looking at the stats for that game, Watford with a 0.9 xG, Newcastle in that game had a 2.52 xG.
Wow.
They battered them, but just couldn't quite do it. They had a lot of shots.
Max.
A lot of shots there, 20 shots for Newcastle, 15 shots for Watford.
20 is a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, a very attacking game. But you would say Wolves with their defense, they should edge it. I think it may be a 1-0 for me.
Fair, cool. Final game on the Saturday, Brighton Arsenal. Brighton at home, 5:30. They've just drawn with Palace. Probably be a bit disappointed, but a bit of a bounce, getting the last-minute winner. Arsenal on the up. What do you reckon?
Tough again. I think Brighton have been a good team this year, and I think will be for the whole year through, whole season. Arsenal bouncing after their result. I would say Arsenal, I think with their current form and the fact they're on the bounce, the young players loving it, I think they're going to edge them. So Arsenal win for me, an away win.
Do you think? Yeah, I think we disagree again on this one. I'd bet a draw here. A draw, because I think I agree with everything you've said about both of them. I just think Brighton are very good defensively, very, very good. And Arsenal, they beat a very rubbish Spurs team, like very rubbish. I don't think it was Arsenal particularly being great, and they weren't that great in the second half, actually. I think it was more the Spurs just being all over the shop and dejected and disillusioned and terrible. Brighton are going to be really organised, really up for it. It's away. And I think, maybe a Brighton win even, but I'll go a draw.
Nice.
Cool.
So moving into Sunday, we've got Palace at home to Leicester. Can Jamie do it again, Jack?
So this is a tough one. This is a toughie. Jamie's capable of doing it again, but Palace are a different beast under Vieira, aren't they? They've certainly got something about them. I'd go for a Palace win, actually, here. I haven't been convinced by Leicester, despite Vardy's antics. I'd go both teams to score and Palace to win, with Gallagher looking like a good asset still. Yeah, that's what I reckon. What do you think?
I can see a draw here.
Yeah, fair.
I think Leicester still kind of finding their feet. I think if this game, maybe if a couple of weeks on, Leicester, I think they're moving on an upward trajectory. But I think Palace are doing very well, so I can see a draw. Draw for Palace.
Fair shout. Don't mind that. At all. Spurs versus my beloved Aston Villa, Josh. What do you think?
Wow. I go against Villa again.
Dare you? You better not.
Week running. And I'm not going to. I think Spurs are in so much turmoil. I think all the analysis that I saw of the Spurs Arsenal game, the issue was they didn't seem to have a strategy. So many gaps in midfield, not really knowing what to do. And I think that doesn't get fixed overnight, problems like that. And I think Villa are very well drilled, and they will, I think you'll do them. Villa win.
We'll do them. I agree. I think we'll beat them convincingly. I think we will. I'm looking forward to it. Beating them. If we beat them at their ground, that's a massive statement from us. And Spurs just looked hopeless against us. It was sad to see in a way. They really should have sold Kane, shouldn't they? I think that's what it's looking like. He just looks like he doesn't. He looks really kind of sad to be there. I think he looks like he's kind of trying, but in that way where you break up with a girl, then get back with her, even if one of you didn't really want to, and you're giving it another go, but it's not the same. That's the vibe I get with Kane.
It's his high school sweetheart.
Yeah,
he's come back to after going.
They've gone to uni.
College.
Yeah, they've gone to uni, and it's not the same. So Freshers Week changed him. So I think Villa to win that. We're looking really good, and beating United is just going to give us a massive boost, especially away from home. So up the Villa. West Ham Brentford. Tricky.
This is a toughie, but I think I'm just going to say, despite Brentford's amazing performance against Liverpool, that was at home. And I just think that West Ham are a team on form, and will just have too much for them. Despite Brentford looking great, I'm excited for them this year. I think they're going to have a great year, but West Ham are going to be too much for them. I think West Ham win.
Interesting. I disagree. I think Brentford win.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought West Ham weren't that. They got the 2-1 win at Leeds, but they looked a bit defensively. Like Leeds could have easily equalised in that game. And Brentford's brilliant defence, I think, might have enough against Antonio. And their amazing performance against Liverpool, they'll be buoyed by that. So, I just about feel like it could be a shock Brentford win on this one. That's my shock of the week.
Can they play in a stadium full of bubbles, though?
Yeah, well, time will tell. Time will tell.
We shall see.
Yeah, go on, Brentford. It'd be great to see them win it, I think. Yeah.
Not unless you own... Well, it could be like a goal fest. I was about to say not if you own Antonio, but then...
Yeah.
Goals for everyone.
I don't have Kufal, so screw it. Don't care. The big one, Josh, rounding off the game week. Title, potentially a title clash. Liverpool, Man City. Cast your bias aside if you can, Josh. Who is going to win?
I think it's going to be a draw. And I say that I would love to say a Liverpool win, but I just think one City, like we said, we've got amazing attacking stats, amazing defensive stats. I think both teams will be a bit cagey, much like the kind of Chelsea City game.
Chelsea City.
That could have easily been a draw. And I think I just think that both teams will not go for it fully, will not chase the win fully, because they want a result. They want some points out of this. So, despite Liverpool being at home.
I think Liverpool find it hard to contain themselves in those games. They almost can't help but go forward, and attack and burst, like Mane and Salah just go for it. I think Man City are going to win, man. I'm sorry. I do think they're going to be... Their defence is just ridiculously good. And Liverpool isn't looking that good, their defence. And they've got the attackers to punish them, City. So I think hot off the Chelsea win, that's a big win for them. Liverpool shocked by Brentford. I don't think their defence will be feeling that good after that. So I think the Man City will get the win there. And the captaincy on Salah is tricky, man. Very, very tricky. Yeah. So there we are. Well, that's all our predictions done and dusted. Good luck to you if you bet on them, I guess. You're probably not gonna. Let us know what your predictions are in the YouTube chat. Would love to see it. Would love to see if you disagree or agree.